Well, hello there, and welcome to this mystical fantasy tavern in which narrators eat free, and thus I must uphold my end of the bargain. So please, gather around and hear my tale of adventure.
And inconsistent character voices.
Listen as we begin our journey into a new fantastic realm filled with compelling characters who are about to roll their very first intelligence check.
Welcome to the first episode of Intelligence Check. We are an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I am Kyle Overturf, and I will be your Dungeon Master. With me are my fellow podquesters, the debonair Ben Mazer.
Hello, all.
The mighty Mike Rempfer.
What up?
The mysterious Leech.
Hey to all.
And the immortal Kevin Pillardi.
Ooh, immortal. Hi.
I'd like to test that theory right now.
No, you're just amortal.
Yeah, you misheard me. Amortal.
Oh, I'm very mortal.
For those who have never played a game like this before, it's almost like a choose-your-own-adventure. My co-hosts play the main characters, while I create the world and the storyline. Unlike choose-your-own-adventure books, their options of what to do at any given moment are pretty much limitless, although there are rules to guide them. Dice rolls determine if characters succeed or fail at any actions they try to take. Other than those occasional dice rolls, our tale will be presented almost like an old radio drama, but hopefully with a lot more fun and goofiness. The fun won't start until the game does, so let's jump right in.
Do I need to talk in my old-time radio voice?
Yeah.
You have to.
Do your best, Walter Winchell.
Like many adventure tales, our story begins in a tavern. Unlike most of those stories, this tavern happens to be located deep underground. Tor Iron Oak, a dwarven cleric, is sitting at a table in a small back room of a gloomy dwarven tavern. Tor is remarkable in only how very average he appears. Average height, weight, brown hair, and eyes. Even his long dwarven beard seems to be braided with just the right amount of effort so as not to appear unkempt or overly dramatic. Across from Tor sits a particularly grumpy-looking dwarf dressed in very fine clothes, but his overall appearance seems to reflect a gangster more than a merchant or noble. Around the table is a group of heavily armed dwarves. On the table by the grumpy dwarf sits appears to be what is a 4-foot-long lightning bolt forged out of solid gold that is glowing radiantly. The dwarf leans forward. "You want the artifact, do ya? Well, I'm not looking to sell, but I'll tell you what. I like the look of that divining rod hanging off that weapon of yours," he says, motioning to the rod that is cackling with energy and clipped to your weapon. "How about we play a round of granite or gold? Winner walks away with both items."
I've got a better game for you. This voice is horrible. Congratulations.
Which is the worst voice?
I'll play my favorite game for you. Are you in?
What be your game?
Ready for winter. I put a bag on the table.
I never heard of it. Explain it to me.
Don't need to. Just say, are you in or you out?
He takes a moment, kind of scratches his long beard.
Real dwarf would play the game. He'd know what it was already.
I'm in.
Alright, I dumped the contents onto the table. Just a mound of acorns everywhere. Whoever can cram the most acorns in their mouth and still say ready for winter wins.
You gotta be kidding me. What the hell kind of game is this?
I just start cramming them acorns in.
He does as well.
Oh no.
Alright, we're both going to roll 1d20 to determine who wins. You can use any skill you want if you believe that it will help. Obviously, I'm going to have to give you approval. But if you have something that will give you a bonus and you think it's applicable, go ahead. He's just going to roll a base 1d20.
I'm looking at my skills currently because I was not prepared for anything like this.
That's what I was hoping.
I'm going to use medicine.
I'm not going to allow that.
Give me a +3.
I was like, it said
my cheeks are healing as I'm cramming things in them.
Denied.
Medicinal acorns.
That's just going to start a very bad precedent.
Fantasy Colorado?
I will allow that.
You need to go to the dispensary.
12 plus 1 is 13.
You managed to jam 13 acorns into your mouth, amazingly. However, he managed to jam 19.
You took the small ones.
The dwarf laughs loudly as his men begin to crowd closer, waiting for you to hand over the rod.
Still not gonna happen.
Boys, you know what to do. Suddenly, that's where we switch to another character.
Oh, cliffhanger.
In direct contrast to a gloomy dwarven tavern, Court Hawkins finds himself in a lush and cozy upscale inn. Court Hawkins is a half-elf bard of some renown. Like many half-elves, he keeps his hair at medium length to somewhat hide his elven ears, and sports a finely trimmed moustache and goatee to further hide his elven heritage. His hazel eyes are often drawn towards fair maidens and shine with his charm and humor.
Hello.
He wears finer clothes than a bard can normally afford, which most take as a testament of his successful career. A group of merchants and members of the lower nobility enjoy festivities while listening to the songs of this traveling bard. In fact, one such song goes like this.
Oh God. Well, let me play one of my old favorites, an inspiring song that I like to call Standing Tall on the Wings of My Dreams.
And that's where we get to. So,
one lyric, one verse.
Roll 1d20, please, to see how the crowd likes it.
All right. 15. Is modifier for that at all? Would there be? Would I add anything?
That would be performance.
Performance. I have performance. Oh, that's a 5 in performance. Is that a +5? Because I have a... Wow, yeah, that's 20.
Oh, wow, perfect.
Yeah, because I have a +5 in performance there.
All right, everyone in the inn cheers heartily, and numerous free drinks are sent your way.
I love perfect strangers.
Each one delivered by one of the beautiful barmaids that the inn is actually known for. But one in particular keeps catching your eye. She has amazingly fair skin and bright blue eyes, which stand out in perfect contrast to her long dark hair. After your eyes meet hers several times over the course of the night, she finally makes her way over to you as you finish performing, but you notice she has an empty tray. I apologize to the audience for my female voice. I kept hoping I would
so sexy.
I kept hoping I would receive one of the orders for your drinks, but I wasn't so lucky. I don't make enough gold to treat you to one myself, but I could provide you with free lodging tonight.
Well, I think that would be splendid, but I fear that the bed may be a bit cold. Is there any way you could warm it up for me?
Yes, I'm at my room.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, we're on the same wavelength there, then. Well, lead away.
All right, she leads you upstairs to her room, and she unlocks the door and coyly looks back at you as she walks in, already unlacing her dress. As you enter the room, you hear the door slam behind you, and then a strong hand grabs you and slams you face first into the wall.
Oh, I'm not into the rough stuff.
You feel a sharp pain in your back as a voice says, "Well, look who we have here. You're a hard man to track down." You recognize the voice of Braddock.
Oh, Braddock, my old friend. How are you? How fares the old gang?
You know how we fare. We just want our stuff back.
Oh, stuff. I'm sorry, but stuff is so hard to keep track of. I mean, I just travel from town to town. Honestly, I barely have enough to get by on my own. I'm sad to say that I no longer have any of your so-called stuff.
See, that's a shame, because if you had our stuff, you might walk away from this event. Without it, I think you're leaving in a body bag.
You mean the stuff, of course. I just left that at the local bank, safety deposit box. Just give me a day or two to get things in order, and I can have that right to you.
A very sharp pain hits your neck as a dagger is being forced more comfortably into it than you like.
Okay. I choose to, at that moment, use some prestidigitation and cause a flash, and hopefully maybe wriggle out and escape. Maybe, I don't know, is there windows in the room I could dive out of?
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice. 20.
All right. Yeah, there's a flash of light. He grabs his eye and bends over for a second. You run in, and
I just... What are we? Second floor?
Second floor.
I'll be fine. I can dive out the window.
Sure.
Yeah, dive out the window and escape and disappear into the crowd.
All right, you run towards the window, you jump up, it's not open, you slam into glass that I'm not sure exists at this time, but it does here.
Well, fun, then action movie glass.
And then as you tumble down towards the ground, we switch to a different introduction. Rigerlin Morris, a giant of a man with muscles to match, enters a dark and dingy dive of a tavern. His brown hair is cut oddly short, and his face is clean-shaven. But in every other aspect, he reflects the stereotypical barbarian. A large half-orc is serving a bar, which looks as though it has not been cleaned once in the past century or so, and the clientele do not look any cleaner. For the most part, it appears as though everyone is trying to sit alone with as little interaction as possible, but there are a few groups of ruffians or bandits that are huddled whispering and glancing about suspiciously. Could you please roll for perception?
What would I roll for?
So roll 1d20 and add your wisdom modifier.
My wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 6.
With the modifier?
With the modifier.
All right. You were told there should be a goblin here, as he is here every night, but as you glance around, you don't see any goblins at all. You spend a few moments looking about, but you quickly catch the attention of the bartender, who growls loudly before asking, "What do you want?"
What is it that you have?
"Beer, grog, ale."
Do you have any milk?
What?
I'll take that as a maybe. I was to meet someone here.
Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for a goblin. Has there been any this way?
He kind of makes a shady look to the left and right and kind of waits for a moment, judges, and goes, "Nah, never heard of a goblin."
You've never heard of a goblin?
You heard me.
I guess I did.
Well, thank you.
Fair enough.
So you can try to persuade him or intimidate him, or...
Yeah, I'm going to try and, I guess, intimidate him.
All right, roll for intimidation.
20?
Yes.
Okay.
And charisma modifier.
4.
He is so unintimidated, he starts laughing, cracking up horrifically. Tears coming out of his eye. He just goes, "You're funny, man. He's in the back."
Waka waka. I thank you.
Do you take your sad glass of milk and just kind of like put your head down and walk?
I can still really use that milk.
Can you warm this up for me?
So we've got the office cut up.
Right, so you enter what is the back room, and you immediately see a goblin who's sitting there shaking in fear. You can tell immediately he's not looking forward to this conversation at all. "Heath knows nothing about your mother. Heath definitely does not know about the transferring of prisoners. Heath is innocent goblin. Let Heath go home."
An innocent goblin would know nothing about prisoners at all. How do you know what I seek if you know nothing?
Heath says he doesn't.
He doesn't? But you brought it up first.
No.
Is there anyone else in the room?
No.
No? Okay, it's just me and Heath.
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff. Yeah.
Stop tossing that garbage can.
All right, I want to try and intimidate him.
All right, roll.
So
try to do higher this time.
I'll do my best. That'd be 11.
It's high enough for Heath.
Okay. he seemed like pretty cool. Yeah, that's with the bonus. Yeah.
All right, so Heath goes pale green.
Tell me what you know.
Heath hears things. Heath knows that she was being taken to magic prison. Heath knows that she was imprisoned by the Wizard King of Dalor. But the Wizard King had different plans. The Wizard King made a bad move. He took your mother, and we switched to Rathborn.
All these cliffhangers.
I definitely pictured like a little kid from Goonies getting his hand put into the blender.
Oh, definitely.
And then I started vomiting.
Rathborn, a tiefling, is tracking a trail of blood through the lower levels of a dungeon that he knows all too well. For our audience, tieflings typically have the appearance of a devil-like creature, and Rathborn is no exception. 2 sleek, foot-long horns protrude from either side of the red skin of his forehead. His coal-black hair and short goatee are both neatly trimmed. Even his dress appears to be of a dapper noble, which is almost out of place for a well-known ranger striding through the tight corridors of a dungeon. The amount of time that Rathborn spent in the depths of a labyrinth would need to be measured in months. Of all the places his prey could go, it certainly chose the wrong dungeon this time. Please roll for tracking.
Okay.
Do better than me.
What kind of a bonus would I be adding to that one?
I believe that's wisdom.
Wisdom? Okay, so that's going to be a 7.
All right.
Just barely did better than you.
But still better. Still better. Yeah, I don't want to waste all my good rolls.
What's my excuse then?
You're just you. The dim light prevents you from finding the trail for some time. Oh, you know what? I apologize. Before we go there, you have advantage because this is your dungeon.
And I also have dark vision, if that makes a difference.
Wonderful.
Too.
Yeah, actually roll again. I'll give you a bonus.
All right. That's 7 again.
A 7 or a 7?
All right. The dim light prevents you from finding the trail for some time. You are unable to pick it up again. You are able to pick it up again, but you know that you will not find the goblin before he's able to close in on your prey. You only hope that you arrive in time. You follow this trail deeper and deeper into the dungeon, recognizing the path, and knowing it should soon lead to a dead end. You go around the last corner and see an elf, your new friend, Asium, standing over the body of a dead goblin, but he appears to be heavily wounded, and his last breath is probably going to be drawn soon. A broken harp lies on the ground beside him, and an onyx shield is emblazoned on his tunic. He turns and faces you with a grim look on his face. "I guess your little dungeon was a bit more than I expected. I can't believe all those goblins came out of nowhere."
I know. I'm just trying to think how I want to handle this.
Think of the insurance right now. You're going to get screwed in a second.
Just no lawsuits.
Let's just say this is... I guess I should use a character voice. This is All by design, Asen. And I want to pull one of my daggers, walk up to him. I'm going to kneel down next to him, put the dagger to his throat, and say, "This is for my family," and slide the dagger in.
Roll to hit with advantage.
Good. Yeah, that's much better. That's going to be a strength.
Yeah.
So 19.
All right. Wrath, what are you doing? No, your dagger presses deep into his throat. A fountain of blood starts to pour out, and he goes, "No, you have to listen. There's more you need to." And that's where we end the story. So,
what happened, Papa Homer?
The end. Thank you for listening.
You are so learned.
Learned. It's pronounced learned.
Hundreds of miles apart, and certainly never having met each other, all four of you suddenly experience the same event. Mike, as you try to hold on to your magic item and dodge away from the dwarves. Kevin, as you're falling from the air and about to slam into the ground outside. Leech, as you listen intently for the current status of your mother. Ben, as you're trying to catch the last words of the dying elf with probably important information, you all feel sudden pain in your chest. You can't help but clench your eyes in pain as every muscle in your body tenses. You feel as though your body is collapsing upon itself.
Quickening?
Yes, you are all immortal. I said immortal.
Yeah, immortal Kevin. There are others.
Foreshadow.
Waves of dizziness wash over you, and then it just suddenly ends. As you open your eyes, you find yourself standing in front of a large altar with three very finely men dressed upon it. One is thin and tall, and incredibly well-groomed. The second is more squat and very disheveled, but it's the third one that draws your attention. He's one of the older men you have ever seen in your life, and he has a dagger deep in his chest. Before you can even process what has happened or what you are seeing, he falls to the ground dead. The other two well-dressed men exchange awkward glance before looking back at you. They then quickly cross their arms across their chest and bow before you, shouting, "Hail the future emperor of the Lichstone Empire," bowing in your direction.
Cool.
And all of us?
That's all of you.
So the four of us are now standing together looking at this altar?
Mm-hmm.
I look around, very confused.
All right. As you look around, you realize you're not the only ones in this room. There are about somewhere in the broad estimate of 100 other people standing in this room. Some of them have their arms crossed and are bowing. Some of them are kneeling, heads down, reverently. But the vast majority of them look just as confused and ununderstanding as you guys are.
Well, I'm just happy to have escaped from, well, my situation. Who are all you people?
Send me back.
Everybody there basically is reacting the same way as you do. There's murmurs, people are talking. It's hard for everyone to hear, and the two councilmen up front kind of gesture, trying to calm everyone down. It takes a while.
Is this a guided tour?
They raise their hands. Everybody hushes down after a moment. He says, "I know you all have questions, and we will get to them. Suffice to say, you are now in the Lichstone lands, and you all have a chance to become the ruler of our land. There's going to be a lot of questions, and we're going to get to them. But for now, I need everybody just to line up and trust us."
I care nothing for being a ruler. Send me back.
You have the option to not participate in the competition, but we won't be able to send you back until the competition is over. The spell simply won't allow it.
You're going to look dashing in the bikini competition.
Truly.
Swimsuit.
My elegantly bronzed body will win. I choose to participate.
All right, you've convinced me.
I would like to slink kind of more towards the back.
All right.
A little out of sight.
Please roll perception.
9.
With your bonus.
I have a negative to that one. So
I can't imagine the giant freaking demon has a hard time hiding in the crowd.
human size.
Sorry. I'm a dwarf. Everybody, perspective-wise.
That's true.
All right, you actually roll for dexterity for stealth.
Oh, I'm sorry. What am I rolling for?
Dexterity.
Oh.
Stealth if you have a bonus.
I do. That's a 20.
All right. You blend almost amazingly into the crowd, despite being a tiefling, of which there are very few, if any, in the crowd.
Thank God for this tiefling mural he's just hiding up against.
Anybody else? I guess I need to know what everybody's doing if you're
You
getting
said there are like hundreds of people around us?
around 100-ish.
And we are all lining up in a single line out the door?
Just a single line in there. Hasn't said why yet.
I still have no idea what's going on here. I also will try to Well, what's the place look like?
It's actually a really nice great hall. Around the fringe, you see soldiers that are all heavily armed and waiting for someone to act up. But for the most part, you're actually getting more of a vibe that this is a really nice ceremony, despite the dead body, and less of a, they're going to kill you.
All right, well, I'm going to keep my head down for now until I figure out more, so I will just kind of get in line.
Can I do like a wisdom check to see if I can just figure out the religion and what's going on?
You certainly can.
Anybody have good history?
4. 7 total.
Certainly are in a room.
I have a +1 bonus to history or arcana.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a decent history check. Can I see if I know anything about the lands that he mentioned?
Certainly may.
Wow. I don't know a damn thing about this area.
It does exist.
I also then will try to do that. Now, I guess it would be history as well.
Kev,
Couldn't really use
you get to roll with advantage because you're a bard, and a
excellent.
bard would likely know the story of this area.
Okay. That's a 15 plus 1, 16. That's
How
pretty
come
good.
his dice aren't broken? Everybody else.
And that's a 1. So I'm going to go with that 16.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
All right. The Lichstone lands are very famous for two things. The first being the Lichstone, which is a small gem that can be used to enhance magic. The downside is someone has to die while using it. Specifically, they have to be sacrificed. If they're willing, it magnifies the spell by 100 times. If they're not willing, it magnifies the spell about 10 times. The other thing the Lichstone lands are known for is this competition. They do not believe in an emperor getting it through succession or by voting, only by proving that you are the best option to be the emperor of the land by helping make the land greater. Make Lichstone great again, people.
Oh, no.
I see I am not the only one bronze.
He's more of an orange color, really.
Yeah, we're getting political. Is there anybody I could ask, what happened to the previous emperor?
Well, we were going to get to that later, but unfortunately he's been poisoned. He's actually still alive, but he's in a coma, has been for about a year, and we don't expect him to get any better at this point.
Ah, interesting.
I feel like I would be more prone to going towards the bard, if only because he's the other one speaking up and getting information.
Okay.
So I would like to file in line near him so I can talk to him.
I
You
say,
hit
you're
into
quite
the
the
crowd,
statuesque
then,
fellow.
I'm assuming that when you hit in with the crowd, you're actually in line, correct?
Yeah, just towards the back of the line, because I want to see how it's going to shake out first.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about what's going on.
I look for the dwarfs and get in line with them, I guess.
Okay. You find a couple of dwarves and you get in line.
Do I recognize their clans?
You recognize the clan names, but they're not anybody that you really interacted with. They're not local. Just from looking around, you all can tell people were summoned from all around the world on this one.
Alright, let's get the show on the road.
Your quizzical nature intrigues me. Tell me what you know.
I know many things, good sir, but it seems right now that I believe we should observe what is going on around here.
Fair.
You big guy.
You notice that a older woman, and by older I mean way older, kind of raises her arm and walks up front, and guys kind of looking at her like, what the hell are you doing here? She says, hello, I do not believe I was meant to be here. I cannot be emperor, but I will participate in events if it's to make kingdom stronger. I feel it is fate that I am here. And the guy's like, okay. Kind of like crazy old lady. And gestures.
There's a woman?
Oh, yeah. That's my sexy Russian female voice.
Yeah. Didn't start that way.
And so he gestures for the woman to get in line. Can somebody roll perception who's not been?
Yeah, please.
I got it. 17.
All right. You look around, and for the most part, you're getting a very big
Oh,
mission.
sorry, plus 3, so 20.
You look around.
Oh, so now you really notice.
Everybody seems to be about the same level of preparedness for this event. They all seem to be called disheveled, coming out of nowhere.
My character starts patting himself down my bag of acorns. Did they make it?
They're gone.
Still in that guy's
Never
mouth.
find acorns again.
Yeah, the guy was threatening you with a mouthful of acorns. Lost a little in translation there.
There's two people who heavily stand out. The first is this older woman. The other is a man who seems way too finely dressed, as if he was prepared. He knew this day was coming, and he is in his absolute finest. Other than that, everybody's just getting in line. And so the two men from the altar walk down, and one of them has a book, and he says, "Sir, your name?" Asks the first person, jots down what they say. He keeps going down the line. So he gets to Kevin first. Kevin?
Oh, my name? Ah, good sir. You don't know Percival Claymore when you see one? I mean, that's my name.
Just moves on. Gets to Leech.
Blaggerland Morris. You may call me Blag.
Blaggerland Morris. Moves on, goes through a couple other people, gets to Mike. Your name, sir?
Tor.
Tor. Last name, sir?
Iron Oak. What's this for?
Emperor competition. Were you listening?
No.
Didn't think so.
Can you do it again?
Once
Love
every...
interest.
He moves on, dejectedly. Keeps going through.
As I see him coming towards me, I imagine I realize I have a bloody dagger in my hand still.
Yes, you do.
So I discreetly kind of tuck that behind my back.
Roll sleight of hand.
Wow. Oof. Nope.
It clatters loudly to the ground.
Who's here when I got here?
My dice don't like you.
You're starting to worry about that a lot.
Kick it to the guy on the
bloody dagger or my terrible rolls?
Both. But about 4 or 5 people in front of you hear them say, "Name, sir," and you hear him say, "Durand."
Durand? No. But he's dead.
Well, apparently not so much.
I immediately push the people out of the way in front of me in line.
You had some
You're trying to get closer
dagger to hit him with.
I need to confirm that that's who he is, because he's, as far as I know.
Are you doing subtly or just blatantly?
Oh, absolutely not. The shock. I'm just gonna.
All right.
I'm pushing through. I'm gonna grab the person who just said that by the shoulders and turn him around.
All right. I did not see you showing this way. You grab him, you spin him around, and he looks furious that someone's interrupting him and doing that. And then his face just goes full shock, mouth agape, and he is like, Rathborn?
How are you here?
I don't know. I was healing at home and I was just here.
You're dead. I saw your body.
Did you do this to me? Did you summon me here?
I don't know how any of us are here, especially not you.
He just seems completely confused and thrown off. He has no idea what to make of anything, and he just kind of shakes his head, puts his hand up to it, and takes a long moment. I need to think. I don't even know. I can't even.
Literally.
You and I are going to work this out when this is over.
Yes, I think we need to.
I step back, put a couple people between me and him, and keep a very close eye on him.
I like it. All right, they go through and they get to you. Name, sir?
Rathborn.
Last name, sir?
No last name.
Okay, Madonna.
Oh, Madonna exists in this universe.
It's a different Madonna.
As he's walking past me, I make a point of him seeing me bending over and picking up the bloody dagger.
All right, I like it.
Were you like getting him the bun shot while you did it? Like wiggling it?
Exactly.
Like, you were working out like an ex-lover? Kind of like, this is what you're missing.
Do you have a little demon tail? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think so. It's like kind of, I have like a long, kind of a trench coat kind of thing.
Do you like DBZ it where it wraps around your body, or do you just let the thing just dangle?
No, you can just see it kind of,
dangles?
the bottom of my
You're all proud of how long it is?
Shakes a little every now and then, yeah.
All right, I like it. All right, they go through. They ask everybody to remain calm. They point out a buffet that I don't know how you didn't notice before that is in the back of the room. Huge, huge feast. They tell you to please make merry and enjoy. This is a ceremony. This is a time for celebration. And they go off to make what they say are arrangements. The room is yours.
I would like to approach one of the people that was talking at the beginning of this when we first appeared and say, when do we get to the competition?
One of the guys who was actually running it is the one who left to make arrangements, but the other one is there. And this is the shorter, disheveled guy. And he says, probably tomorrow, I think. Yes, tonight they're going to make arrangements for you to stay over, see the town, learn what you want. But then tomorrow we'll get to it.
I need speed. I must be gone.
I'll talk to him about it.
Thank you.
Good day.
I walk away.
I look for an exit. I'm done with this.
All right, you look around and there are exits, but they're all, like I said, this room is surrounded in guards.
I don't care. I go for the door. I got places to be.
All right, roll.
For what?
To try to get past everybody.
13. Do I get a buff to anything?
No. Unless you have a good skill that you want to bring up.
Just to get past the guard.
Walking outdoors.
Yeah, I got that walking outdoor skill.
Oh,
Go ahead and use that.
Convenient.
Who knew it would come up
I
as
really
early?
should have taken that.
Yeah.
My nose is
I mean,
just
in theory, it sounds like a weak skill.
I'm good with it.
All right. Then you go to rush out, and you get past one guard, but the next three in line just kind of grab you and push you back. You know you're not getting out.
You said there's food and drink?
A huge feast.
Not one to pass up the offer, but a little wary. Can I try to do a perception check to see if I detect anything unusual about the food? I'll probably eat it regardless.
Heavily poisoned. Delicious.
11. There's nothing in my perception check, so just 11.
Yeah, food looks normal. You don't suspect anything.
Alright, I chow down. I can't remember the last time I've eaten, which was in the tavern.
Or
I was eating.
Yeah, you enjoy a absolutely delicious meal. It is one of the most delicious things you've ever eaten in your life.
We all got that I gave a fake name, too, right?
No, I did not get that.
Because I couldn't remember.
Since you gave a fake name and we know your real name, I didn't get that at all.
Okay.
What is your name?
No, I don't know. Nobody knows.
I grab a very cliched drumstick off of a piece of meat and chow down on that.
I like it. It's, again, absolutely delicious. You've never had anything so tender or cooked so perfectly. Spiced
I find my way
just
over.
right.
I find my way over to him.
All right.
And say, yes, you're
Hello
standing
again,
next to
my
me in
friend.
line. Yes, so I see you are enjoying the turkey.
It is indeed succulent.
Yes.
He was right behind you in line, so you heard him say his name loud and clear.
Oh, yes, so your name was Blag, I recall?
And you were?
Well, don't let this get out, but I gave them a fake name when they asked for me. I mean, I have multiple identities just to keep things safe. I don't want certain people finding me.
May I have a name by which to refer to you?
Just call me Court.
Court?
Or Hawkins.
Court.
Okay. What brings you... I already know what brings you here.
A
We all
chest
were kind of
pain.
zapped here. Yes, just...
Where were you when you got into this?
We talking.
As you guys discuss this, the councilman comes back and he says, there are far more people here than we have rooms available, as you probably could guess, so we're going to pair you all off into rooms of 6. As you hear your names, please approach. He starts rattling off a list of names, 6 at a time. Finally gets to you guys, and as you probably could all have guessed, you hear Court, or actually, what was his name? Percy, Rathborn, Blag, Tor, Natasha, and Kavy. So the 4 of you...
What a coincidence.
Yeah, the 4 of you end up heading up towards the altar together, and you see the really old lady actually gets out of line and goes up with you, as well does this youngish red-headed lass with curly hair. And they all approach the altar, and he gestures you to a troop of guards and says, if you follow these, they'll show you to your room.
As our heroes are led away, one question burns in their collective minds. Who gets top bunk? Find out next time when we roll another intelligence check.